I called Neo and asked him for a few $100,000 the other day.
How'd that conversation go?
I told him I think about it. He didn't have nothing, no details or nothing like that.
Let me tell you the question. The question was like, hey Neo, how many hundreds of thousands do you have to invest in something that makes sense?
How many people you call with that?
It's just you.
This guy always tried me first.
No,
I
you'll
remember
be
his first event,
no.
bro. You got $60K this 3 years ago for a sponsorship. I'm like, for what? I don't know yet, but we'll figure it out.
Welcome to another edition of Social Brew Podcast. We are here. Donni needs lotion. Neo is fresh. I feel like a champion. And I don't owe Donni any money because I went to the gym not twice, but 3 times this week.
Yes, sir.
However, I saw no proof of it. So
What do you mean?
So it's possibility
Yeah,
that he
but
didn't go.
the stipulation wasn't I had to make a video and send a report.
it actually
But you're
was
a content
stipulated.
creator. You always do that. Why wouldn't you?
I went yesterday. I went the day before yesterday. So
What about last week?
I went twice last week. I went twice last week.
Okay. I'll take your word for it, but it was actually a stipulation.
I don't think it was a stipulation.
It was because I had
No,
proof.
because you were saying if I did it in the house, then Dre got to send me a video. I'm like, I'm not going through all that. Anyway,
He's supposed to pay me $5,000.
I said 1,000. If I don't go to the gym twice a week, and we're doing it for how long?
90 days.
90 days.
Mm-hmm.
Twice a week. I think he could do that.
Twice a week?
Absolutely.
There's
I think I
no
can too.
challenge in it at all, Neo.
Y'all should try the 75 hard.
No.
What's that?
I know exactly what
Yeah,
that
that's
is.
the Andy Frisella joint. You got to work out twice a day. One got to be outside. Drink a bottle of water. Drink a gallon of water every day and read 10 pages.
You doing it?
No, I have not.
You want to do it? Why don't one of them have to be cardio? Yeah. So why don't we do it? And here's the thing. If you skip a day, if you're 45 days in and you miss a day, you have to start back over at 1.
Neo's
hard
not going
one.
to take that.
You're right.
Neo maybe, and it's crazy because he's a really successful entrepreneur, but he's not disciplined at all.
I'm
I'm disciplined.
In what?
I'm disciplined.
Are
I'm
you?
just not disciplined. I'm working out. No,
I'm
not
saying
working out.
health. You're not disciplined. What are you disciplined?
I stopped eating. I don't eat no more red meat or no fish no more.
How long you been doing it?
Been a while.
Like how long?
It's been. So I did Bobby's detox for 42 days. I stopped.
You didn't do Bobby's detox for 42
He
days.
did, actually.
bro.
He did not.
He did, but I did
You
see
told
you
me
have
you stopped drinking the drink.
I stopped drink, but I
That's
continued.
the detox.
Well,
The whole detox is drinking
the
and drinking.
whole
You did that for like a
the
few
whole
days.
detox is to not be plant based.
No, the detox is to drink the tea. That's the main
David
part.
does
of it.
have a point. You were supposed to
He
drink tea.
stopped
But here's
a couple
the thing:
days
But I
I
feel like-
stopped, but I still stopped eating meat and fish, bro. That's important. to me.
I remember seeing you have a little piece of lamb chop.
No, I didn't.
At your birthday.
I did not.
At your birthday party.
I did not. I
Neo,
wanted to. I did not.
You absolutely
I
had
promise
a
you,
little
he
piece.
gave me a vegan meal.
You had a little piece of lamb chop.
On God, I did not have no lamb chops. Bad as I wanted them, trust me.
I heard him salivating over a little piece of lamb chop.
Yo, did y'all had a salad with the double
What?
dressing?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes, it was amazing.
Oh my
But
God.
how long did you do the drink though?
I did the drink for about 4 or 5 days because I traveled too much.
But the drink goes with you. You
Yeah,
just
it's a
need water.
No, my wife or my mom there, they make it. I don't know how to concoct
The
nothing.
lack of discipline that you're
Yeah,
talking about.
for sure.
Yeah. You know what Neo really is? He's disciplined at delegation for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I got that down.
You got that down pat.
I got that down for sure.
Yo, we do got to discuss Neo's gathering at his house, which I thought was amazing.
Was it a
Appreciate you.
gathering? I feel like it was an extravaganza.
It was an extravaganza.
He
for
had
sure,
people
for his party.
dancing in bubbles on top of the pool, floating in a bubble on top of the pool.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, and
It
these
was
weren't
nice.
just like come through and come dance if you can just get in this bubble and stay on top of the
Yeah.
water. These were professionals.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So like strippers, kind of they just
Not strippers though.
a little kind of.
No, these weren't strippers. These were adult dancers, but they were fully clothed.
Right, I'm
These-
saying just instead of stripping.
No, Shans. These were ladies that had a skill set that just liked to dance in bikinis. They weren't stripping. First of
sound
all,
like
let's
you.
start at the beginning. Okay, so
Yeah, walk me through your experience.
I'm gonna walk you through my experience. So Neo sends the text message out for the party. RSVP. I RSVP. couple days before the party, I get another text message that says, there's not any room to park at the venue. Everybody must take an Uber. Get an Uber. Okay. So I arrive, I'm in a black car, and I arrive and I'm feeling really, to do, because it's an all black party and all these black cars are pulling up. But I notice as I'm pulling in the driveway that, there are some vehicles here.
I drove.
These aren't all Neo's vehicles. These are some vehicles. So upon entry, I get out of the vehicle and there's paparazzi everywhere. There's like red carpet and everybody's like, Donni, over here. Drew's out there. Oh my God, it's Donni, right?
Wasn't nobody doing all that. Drew probably saw you like, hey, Donni, let me take a picture of you. Like, all right.
So, I walk in and there's a table to check in and the young lady is like, oh, Donni, we got you. And I walk in and there's like this whole big thing. I noticed Pushman Mitch's car is sitting outside. So I said, Mitch, you just disrespected Neo's text message like that and you drove? And he was like, no, he specifically said, feel free to drive your exotic and park it in the driveway.
Oh, you just didn't qualify.
I didn't qualify for that text. So there were two text messages. There were two types of invitations. One, you had to get a car because you ain't messing up our feng shui, right? The video is going to video. Walk in though, and there are immediately, you know how you go to the resort out of the country and they're waiting with the champagne for you? So when you walk into this mansion that Neo owns, from the front door, you can see through the back with the pool and the deck, and it's just gorgeous. It looks like a resort. And there are the ladies there who are standing with some champagne, like champagne or juice. Take one of each. Let's make a mimosa out of this
You gotta
thing,
paint a
right?
picture. I feel like I'm there.
Yes. There's that, and then there's like music. There's a live band playing afar in the corner, and it felt like they were engaging and really inviting, and everybody is just like, hello. There was like an assembly line of greeters. You're walking through and you're feeling like you're backstage at the Grammys or something. It's like, hello, Donni. Oh, we'll have you outside. Donni, can I escort you outside? Like, took me outside onto the back patio. I can't even call it a back patio. It's not a backyard. It's a deck of fabulousness and luxury. We go outside and there's dancers just kind of on the dry ground, just dancing and doing their thing. And there's a bunch of Black entrepreneurs, like multimillionaires, just mingling and mixing in excellence.
The
like
who's who.
It's the who's who,
sure.
Not even just from Atlanta. Like, people took planes to get here. It's the who's who of our generation right now in this space. And people are just mixing and mingling. And then, there's like somebody scoots a chair up under me. Hey, do your feet hurt? Oh, I wouldn't mind a seat. Thank you. Somebody literally scoots a chair. I put a drink down. They pick the cup up. Another drink is coming. Like, they can just see what I'm drinking. The hors d'oeuvres begin to travel through the room.
It's hors d'oeuvres.
The hors d'oeuvres?
Hors d'oeuvres. Act like you've been somewhere, Donni.
The pre-food.
The handheld appetizers.
The handheld apps. the tapas.
Yo,
they begin to
crazy.
travel through the room, and it's like, I feel like I'm at a resort all over again. I feel like I'm at a high level, like, award ceremony, and this food is just traveling through, and there's all kind. And Neo didn't skimp out on the food, right? There's seafood and there's lamb chops and there's salad, but not just the salad, because you'll go to the hotel and get the salad, and it just be like some iceberg lettuce with a tomato and a little Italian dressing, right? This was the salad of all salads. The chef comes out to ensure that we're enjoying the entrees, and it was just an amazing experience. And we hadn't even gotten to the party yet. I don't even know, like, the music is musicking, but we're not even at the party yet. Like, we're not gonna. I don't even have enough time. This whole episode could be about it, but I'm talking about, like, Neo coming down the stairs and smoke just coming out of the floor.
There was smoke, my boy.
There was smoke. I'm talking about name cards and seating charts. I'm talking about 2 rooms filled with guests. He had a roast party. It was just
that was crazy.
Neo, you outdid. If you don't know how to do anything else, you know how to put on an event.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Like, what made you go that big for your birthday?
Well, one, I wanted to, gather people. I don't know. I'm like 36. I told you my mom was terribly sick. It's just a lot happening. I'm like, man, I don't know. Life is happening. Life is lifing for people. So I'm like, I want to just have a good time. bring some friends out, and just have a good experience. And I want them to enjoy themselves. Like,
Yeah.
I want you to remember, like, yo, I had a good time here.
Was there a strategy behind it?
No, really just get
Not
some
at
good
all?
people. Well, one,
Neo, you are too strategic
There
to
was
not
no
have a strategy.
pitch at the end of the night
wasn't
either.
a pitch.
I stayed at the end just to make sure. Like, I didn't want to miss the pitch. Like, how do you pitch on your birthday? I'm looking for the nonprofit, the something.
yeah.
There was no pitch.
I purposely did that. I said, I'm not going to ask for anything.
You thought about it, though.
I thought it was a good room I could definitely
You coulda got
make
some
an
money.
offer for something, for our organization, for something that we're doing. We're about to do the kid thing too. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
What came out of it though?
I don't know. Did you make any new connections
Did I make any new
or build
connections?
deepen a relationship with somebody? Just with your wife mostly though.
Yeah, I was with my wife. No, I did make some. Yeah, I got some game, got some. Yeah,
Yeah, so that was the whole point. I want you to remember, like, yo, I had a good time. Or when I invite you to something in the future, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna make sure I come.
Yeah.
gotcha.
And I made money that day. I had to sell that day, so it was a lot better that night. You know, I'm like, that thing was free.
Right, you make the sale and then
I made a
obviously you
sale
show-
to the public.
Right, but I'm saying after you I'm sure sales came in that night when everybody's.
Yeah, that's a good strategy.
Yeah.
Like I believe on your birthday, if you're having something, your stories are already increasing, the motivation's already increasing. People want in on that. So that's how I did my wife's car. I do that with a lot of things, but that wasn't my initial strategy.
Good.
I just wanted to create a dope experience and people could rock out. And there was a lot of people who were current partners, future partners. So just put you in a room and I'm learning for me, like I want to actually hang out with somebody before we go into business. For me, I
Yeah.
think it's just a little bit better for me than just let's randomly
Bro,
run the
I
bag
just
up.
proposed that to you about the situation we talked yesterday. And you said you didn't want to do it.
Which one?
Me and Neo was just gonna call a little cap. Okay, I'm in my M500 bag. So that door randomly opened. Oh, I didn't see nobody behind it. That was crazy. So remember, I was like, yo, we were talking about doing a partnership with somebody.
Yeah.
Me, Neo, and this person. And I'm like, Neo, let's set up a lunch. Let's get together and break bread.
That's not random though. That's already that's my guy already. That's like a bet. Let's
but
do that.
I don't know the person.
I get it.
So
Understood. But I'm just saying it's easy. You don't even gotta go that far. But
Yes,
for you,
but
that's not your requirement. That's just something I like. You don't. You'll go run a bag up with somebody you just met them. Bet you want to do something? Let's do it.
I do. But sometimes
See?
when it's important, I like to get to know the person and like, you know what I mean?
I've never seen you have to get to know the person.
Exactly.
first.
What you mean?
That boy wants some bread. You got some bread for me? Let's
Brittany,
do it.
when we
do
were
it.
talking about the meeting, it was my idea. Let's go sit down. Let's have a lunch. We went to lunch to talk about it.
That's no.
But you know her already. That's a different
Yeah.
story, man. She
We
comes
went
there. I
to
see her every
discuss
time
the
I come
business.
here.
We didn't just go hang out. We went specifically to discuss business.
I'm talking about
Name
that event.
somebody I
There were
did-
people in the room that I haven't done business with yet. I just wanted to hang out, come in our room,
Yeah.
come in our
makes
world. Let's vibe or not vibe. You know, it may not because I'm learning. It seems like for me, a partnership is better when you're actually friends
You
or
like
you
the person.
like kicking it with a person versus
Yeah.
yo, let's just run a bag up and you're not really friends.
That's
Yeah.
true. I feel
For
like
me,
I agree.
I want to know now specifically your strategy because last few years you've been like really consistent. 7, what did you do, 8 last year? 8 figures?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
So something, yeah.
did. I did something where I acknowledged Neo for something not too long ago, and I'm like, 7-figure entrepreneur. He's like, I'm
that
sorry,
event.
excuse me. It was at the event.
Yeah, at
He's like-
the conference.
at the
that you spoke at,
conference. Yeah, I'm like 7-figure CEO. I'm on stage talking, and he's like, I'm sorry, Donnie. I don't mean to interrupt, but 8.
Ah,
All right.
that's
Yeah,
lit,
I appreciate
man.
it.
Flex.
So between
And it ain't a just barely made 8.
Yeah.
No, it's just getting there. You know what I mean? It's
It ain't a
just-
just barely made it.
But
Go ahead.
between last year and this year, I think me personally, I've seen a difference in strategy. And I want to know, is there a difference in strategy? Are you moving away from what worked already? Are you leaning into something? Or between last year and this year, what's changing in your mind?
That's a good question. So for me, I am exploring new opportunities and really more partnerships, honestly, just because I'm learning a lot of things that I got going on that can work well for me. They could work well for someone else at a faster pace because I spend a lot of time doing it. So I can employ something on, just say I'm making this up, that can work really quick, and I make money off of helping you do that.
What do you mean?
So just say, I'll just use Tevin in my mastermind, right? I'll use T-Walk. So he had a lot going on. Like, he was super consistent, super work hard, but he didn't have systems. He didn't have a funnel. So was able to do that automatically, and it took him over to $100K a month consistently. In addition to that, taking on there, grew his following from 70K to 250K. But I'm saying I'm doing that with businesses, essentially. You get, if that makes sense.
Got it. So instead of
only myself, how can I deploy what we're doing for myself to others in similar industries?
Got it. Has your strategy changed at all?
So hold on. You've basically been going in with these entrepreneurs or business owners and saying, we'll help you get all your systems in place. Are you charging them up front, or are you taking equity in the business?
It depends on the situation, but sometimes both. But it really depends on the situation. Depends on what they got going on, where they at. And I can't take everybody, so it got to be very specific. I'm looking for a specific criteria for it to make sense. But I'll do the charge up front and equity, or I'll just do the equity if I truly believe in it. Like, oh, we could really make this thing work.
Okay.
I called Neil and asked him for a few $100,000 the other day.
How'd that conversation go?
I told him I think about it. He didn't have nothing, no details or nothing like that.
Let me tell you the question. The question is like, hey, Neo, how many hundreds of thousands do you have to invest in something that makes sense?
How many people you call with that?
It's just you.
This guy always tried me first.
No,
I
you'll
remember
be
his first event,
no.
bro. You got 60K this 3 years ago for a sponsorship. I'm like, for what? I don't know yet, but we'll figure it out.
I just want
to know what we can
I'm
keep
checking
in
the
reserve.
pulse to see where you're at with investments. So I'll make it sense. You're actually the second person.
Okay. Who's the first person?
Marvin.
What'd he say?
He was like, I'm with it.
Cool. Yeah.
Marvin is always with it.
Yeah, for sure.
You too, though. Yeah.
I just want things that could grow my money a bit aggressive. That works.
That works. Okay.
Yes.
Nah, but just tuck away 400 for me.
Now, you just said 200. Now you're saying
No,
400.
I said
you told me what you
5.
totally needed, so you want me to give the lion's share?
You should just put away 500.
Now, I ain't fooling with y'all, too.
No. You should put away 5, but you might only need to invest 2.
Yeah. Just hold it down. Is your strategy changing from last year this year?
Not necessarily my strategy, but more so my day-to-day. So I am back in my business. I honestly believe that I stepped away from very important components way too soon. I think, I grew to 7 figures pretty quickly, in essence, right, with this group of offerings that I have. And I think one of the things that happened for me is like, okay, now I have the money to hire all this team to do X, Y, and Z. And you start relying on everybody else to kind of run your business. And I think when you establish that level of success, it's up to you to stay even more disciplined and more focused. Not to say that I was like not in my business because I was being irresponsible and and tracking it. Well, I was doing that, but not working in my business. I just started to work in other areas that weren't the priority. And I feel like if I had kept my foot on the gas of what I had done to get to that 7, I may have been able to get to 8. Who knows, right? But I am noticing that this year specifically, things have changed in the coaching space, in the course space. Things have changed significantly. And I am back in my business, meaning I am back, taking sales calls. I am back monitoring and checking the temperature of people. I'm back reaching out and checking up on updates and status checks and things like that. I'm paying more attention to my business for sure.
Good. So
I agree.
I've
What about you?
I'm thinking more, 1, collaborative, 2, just bigger. But yeah, things have changed. I mean, in terms of, and I don't think I think the buying habits of people will change because they realize their buying habits, especially for courses and coaches. When's the first time y'all bought a course? Just shout it out. The first time you bought a course. 2014. About 2014? 2016? Who else? Probably 2020, 2 years ago. Anybody else? About 2 years? So most of the people, their first time buying a course was like 2020, 2019. 2018 would be a stretch, but it wasn't as prevalent. But now, because the speed of all these courses coming out, and that is the way that we learn, people have taken so many courses, then realize, wow, I don't even watch them. How many people didn't watch a course? Like you bought it, but you didn't really get through it. How many people have a course that you bought you never finished?
Only 7% of people who purchase courses complete them.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying now people know that about themselves, so they're a little more apprehensive.
Yeah.
Or first time somebody hired a coach was probably 2019, 2020 or whatever, right? One, there's more money we have to invest. But two, you got a chance to experience you not doing what the coach says, or you just not feeling that particular coach, so people are a little more apprehensive. So I think we have to try a little harder to prove ourselves for someone to invest in a coach these days.
Yeah, that's where the marketing come in place, putting yourself, like, you can't take off now. People are they don't have no content team. They ain't putting out no content because it costs. So whoever I feel like could test the time in this next year, like they'll come out, doing better than others.
What do we got to do?
I mean, one, you got to keep putting out content for sure. I think content is like it's like an engine right now. It's almost like if you're not seen in this world, it's like you ain't doing it. Like if you go disappear for 6 months, they just think you fell off. So you just got to keep putting out content. Yeah. And I mean, keep making offers. Like you got to keep creating opportunities for people to buy whatever it is that you're offering, whatever type of businesses that you're doing. And you got to keep getting better. Yeah. Like you got to still be learning, adding to your learning base, becoming more skilled. Really, that's like you can't get slack right now. While others are slacking, you need to be doubling down on new information.
I think now more than ever is the time that we have to stand out, and doubling down and having your information together is a great point of difference. I think that's what's always worked for me. Like I can stand in a room and have business conversations on many levels when other people would shrink. You can, right? But I think also more than making the offers, very important to do so. I think now we have to condition the consumer. Like we have to really focus on mindset development, personal development, getting back into that space. So I start thinking about, like, I purchased my first course back in 2012. I invested in my first coach back in 2014. So what made Donni Wiggins feel like that needed to happen to reach my level of success? And I know around 2011, I started to get really, really dialed in on personal development. I identified a distant mentor, like the Bob Proctors and the Jim Rohns, the David Amanetiers. I had distant and in-person mentors that they never really taught me how to do a particular skill. They taught me how to think. They taught me how to be critical. They taught me why I needed a particular thing. And so my thirst for developing a skill set grew because my mindset expanded. And so when I think about going back to those basics, I'm like, that's the key. There's so many people who are selling, but then you're getting all these people who are buying and not finishing to completion. So I said earlier that 7% of people statistically finish a course. In my program, 83% of people finish my program. Oh, wow. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I conditioned so deeply the mindset, why you need this, why you're suffering, how life can look, your level of belief, your level of discipline, your habits. Those things are really overlooked by most marketers, and I think we got to get back to that.
Yeah, personal development is definitely going to be key. I said I wasn't going to tell Donni this, but never mind, I'm not going to tell her.
Go ahead, tell her.
Wait, no, I'm cool.
Tell me. No, tell me. It's okay. Throw your little shot.
It wasn't really a shot. Let's just move on. I'll tell you later if I can think about it.
Okay, remember, put a pin in that.
What areas do you need to improve on? Because I'm seeing, and I'm adopting what you're doing. Last year, you wasn't doing every single week a webinar or something like that, right? You're doing that now, right?
I started back in like November doing it every single week. Yeah.
When did you do? You did it for 2 years or something like that.
Yeah, probably a year and a half before that.
What year was that?
I don't know.
It was before 2020.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yep.
So why are you jumping it back into it now?
Well, a couple reasons. One, I kept hearing a lot of my guys like, "Oh, we're crushing it," and I took off from them. I'm like, "Oh, y'all crushing this thing? Oh, let me go back in here."
There's a pattern here too.
Yeah.
You were the first person I knew like really going into the podcast, and then you stopped, and now you jump back into it.
Yeah.
One of the first people I knew doing webinars every week for like 2 years.
Yeah.
100 and something episodes in a row, and then you stopped. And then now I'm seeing mad people crushing the webinar space.
I think I didn't have when I had the podcast, I didn't have a coach or didn't really know how important it was. The webinar really just got burnt out. You do that every week for a year and a half, 2 years straight. It's like, crap, this thing is burning. It will burn you out. For me anyway. I don't know about anybody else. But the podcast, I wish I didn't stop. But I didn't have nobody to let me know how important it is. I didn't pick up the pandemic run. Like, it's just a lot of things. I feel like I was just wrong timing for my podcast.
You were the wrong timing back then?
Yeah, I think so. Meaning, when I say it didn't blow up, meaning it didn't blow up, I feel like it was still new. I feel like, I don't know. Podcasting is still new, really.
Yeah, it's fresh.
But it's not new. It's old, really. People been doing this for, 14 years now?
Yeah, but that's relatively new. You know what I mean? A 14-year-old industry, that's not, that's pretty new. But I think the objective, this is why I push like podcasting so much, because we had a spike in podcasting 2020, and it hasn't declined. It's just not growing as fast, but I think listenership is growing. But I believe that there will be another spike, right? But the people that enjoy that spike will be the people that have been consistently going. And I'm gonna mess up this stat, but it was like, it's only like a few days out of the year that if you miss in the market, like your money invested in the market, if you're not invested like these couple days, significant losses, significant. Right? So you have to be in it for the whole year. You got to ride the ups and downs, but at the end, eventually it will work out. So I know I'm leaning more into the work because I think the pandemic 2020, 21, 22, it kind of made me lazy. I wouldn't even consider doing a webinar every week, but now that's how we're built selling out this conference. So we're just leaning more into more content. I'm about dropping another podcast, and I'm about to do 2 every week.
Another segment type of thing?
Whole nother podcast.
Got it. What's that
built
one?
From scratch.
It's called Built from Scratch?
No, it's called Podcast Explained.
Okay.
And this is another thing, and I want to get you guys' opinion on. I've been general entrepreneurship, success, growth, marketing, right? But what I'm seeing is when people really lock into a specific lane, like a specific industry, specific genre, you have the ability to take over that industry. So I'm seeing Alex, right? He's not talking about general success. It was trucking, owns the industry, right? Trap has like one message, investing.
Yeah.
He talks about the stuff around it, but his brand is this one specific thing. He has the ability to own the industry. Who else is doing what he's doing between him and Ian?
Yeah.
Right? If you have a specific lane,
It makes
right?
sense.
Look at Marcus's trajectory of growth. It was, funding, capital, credit,
Yeah.
funding, credit. That's what you're known for, right? So we're just locking into podcasts. So the name of the podcast is called Podcast Explained.
So it's just break down all things podcasting.
All things podcasting and getting into people's numbers because you have no idea what people's downloads are because it's not public. You can see a YouTube video and maybe kind of gauge it, but this one young lady, she's getting like 1,000 views on YouTube, but she's like number one or between the top 5 in the education space of podcasting, meaning.
So is it good to ask somebody before you get on somebody's podcast, send me what your monthly downloads are?
That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Or per episode. But my point is, you can't there's so much hidden in podcasting, and it's so new that if I give a philosophy, it's not going to contradict with somebody else because there's not a lot of people teaching, period. So I think just going deeper into a niche, that's what I'm going to be known for versus entrepreneurship or just coaching or just mentoring. You know what I mean? So what are your thoughts?
I like it. I like it very much, but I'm thinking back to in 2020 when I was saying a lot, like really honing into the coaching space at that time. And your response was basically like, let's talk entrepreneurship. No, like entrepreneurship.
No, that wasn't it. No,
it was.
That didn't happen.
That absolutely happened.
No, you were talking about one-on-one coaching.
I was saying that I wanted to be sure that I didn't lose the fact that I am a coach, and I wanted to focus on coaching.
I always highlight you as like the number one business coach. We all look at you as a coach.
Yeah,
right?
Well, the same thing. We look at you as a podcast coach, right? But now you want to lean specifically into podcasting as the lane. I'm happy you're doing it. That's my thought.
Yes. Are you saying I talked you out of coaching?
Absolutely. You know you did.
No, I didn't.
No. You didn't
I
talk
was
me
just
out
saying
of coaching.
one-on-one.
I'm still a coach.
Right.
But you definitely, your message prior to this was definitely expand more out of this. Like just talk to entrepreneurs. You're still a coach, but in a different way. I just love to see that you're leaning into a niche.
I don't think that's true necessarily.
We did a whole episode about this.
Pull up the receipts. Did I tell her not to coach? I didn't tell her that.
You don't even know me. What are you talking about?
It's on my side. And Neo, are you going more events based, or are you still like what are you?
I'm more general.
More general?
I mean, because I do event space, I do digital marketing. It's like I've been trying to figure out which one don't do. But I like doing both of them.
Do you do them both at the same level of excellence, or does one stand out a little bit more?
I talk more about the event space stuff. Well, when I got back into the webinar, now I switched back to more event space. Last year was more on digital. It's very hard to do both of them.
Yeah.
Two things extremely well. So I like what you're saying.
Yeah.
But then when you think about Earn Your Leisure, theirs is more general financial literacy that talks on everything. So
no, but that's financial literacy.
It's still financial literacy.
I mean, what you're doing is financial literacy.
No, it's not.
Well, I understand your point. Helping somebody develop their business and teaching them how to make money can kind of scratch the surface of financial literacy.
So you would say this podcast isn't financial literacy?
No.
I think so. I think that we teach financial literacy for sure. I think when we have conversations about what do we do with our money, how do we manage our money, how do we pay people, that's
you
definitely
have people on here that
literacy.
teach different things.
Yeah.
Right? Taxes and
yes, but it's still like more general. So Earn Your Leisure, they are focused on the numbers, the money behind an industry or how money works or what's going on in the financial sector. They're teaching people about the economics of money specifically, right? Now they might have somebody on there that does trucking, right? But they want to know the inner workings of the economy as a whole or something like that, right? Financial literacy is not what we do. We just teach entrepreneurship. And I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not the most financial literate person. I know how to make some money and I can teach somebody else how to make some money. I can kind of teach you how to save it, but I don't really, like Trap came on here and talked about the history of money. It was a dope episode we're going to release. We need to release that pretty soon. That was really good. But he went into, it was so crazy, like the history of money, Boston Tea Party, economics, where the dollar came from, why it was not backed by gold, when it stopped being backed by gold, what that means. That's financial literacy. I don't know none of that.
That's financial expertise for sure, but don't discount your ability to teach somebody how to make money and sharing what you do with it. That's also financial literacy.
Yeah,
We're not a financial literacy based podcast. We're more so about business, but part of building a good business is adopting some financial literacy
100%,
as well.
100%. Yeah, but like even if you were going into event spaces, like you were focused on how can I help people with their event space? Now you have to teach them how to market it, of course, but that wouldn't be necessarily, I'm a marketer. I teach you how to do event space. So I think it's all about the creating the narrative in people's minds. And we quit so much. We start and stop and start and stop and start and stop so much that nobody can say, oh, this person does that.
Yep.
But it's scary because you got to let something go that makes money.
Yeah.
It's scary.
I mean, it's like for me, I'm in a space of personal development where I started and then business development. I really, really, really love personal development. I'm really, really great at business. I'm good at both, but I really, really, really love personal development, that space.
Yep.
And I'm finding myself kind of navigating back into that space where I'm leaning heavily on mindset and, you know, things like that and belief. But you got to be careful because if you do too much of that, then, you know, newcomers, people who are just coming into your community are like, oh, I didn't know you were a business coach. I thought you just talked on, you know, belief and mindset and habits and discipline and all that good stuff.
And the answer would be, yes, I do.
I do both. Well, because I focus on the way that I coach, I really focus on the whole entrepreneur. Like I don't fit, especially if you're working with me one-on-one and even in any of my programs, I know how important the mindset piece is. So many people don't want it, which is why very few people are very successful because you want to skip the personal development that's required to maintain the components of you, the characteristics that need to happen in order for you to stay successful. But I require it in my programs. I require it in my one-on-one training. And I don't believe that you can really build something that is sustainable without it. So for me, they go hand in hand. But when you tell people, if you came to me and said, Donni, I want coaching, and I'm like, yep, so it includes this, 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 and there's a series of mindset development that we're going to go through. Yeah. You're going to be like, I don't want that. I just want the person who's just going to how 1, 2, 3 it.
They want strategy.
They just want strategy, which is
tactics.
fine also. But people who are only focused on strategy tend to go out of business at a more alarming rate. Like you're only focused on the sale, you're only focused on strategy, and you're not focused on becoming the person that you need to be. You're not going to last.
Yeah. I think there's a place for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for instance, there was a coach where you're just focused on the person getting started. I think there's millions in it.
Oh,
sure.
100. I think
Millions.
it's the start is the most challenging thing to do.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Yeah.
How do you start? But then there's another level that says, okay,
now you got
your
finish.
business started. Not even finished, but you got your business started. Now let's get it rolling.
You got to grow.
And you're saying, I'm the coach that you come to when you got your business together, right? So let's get some momentum. And you're only focused on the systems to get some consistent income. And let's say you branded yourself as the person that's like, yo, I'm not going to take you to 100 million, but we're going to get some consistent income. Yeah. I'm going to help you make your first 6 figures. That's what I do. Right? But there's also a place for somebody just focused on strategy. All right, you're making 6 figures. Now you need to come to me. Now you need to come to Neo. You have a product, you got a little bit of momentum going. Now you come to me to expand it. Right? But I think we all are going to have to figure out, what am I specialized in and what part of someone's journey do I come in at?
And what part of the journey do you want to come in at? That's just as important. Like, what part of the journey are you really, really great at? Because there's people, like, I know Neo and I could both be business coaches who were at the start phase with someone, the growth phase and the scale phase. We could do both of those things, but where do we want to be? Yep. And I think for me, was it last year? It might've been 2021. There was a lot of confusion with where I'm good at being and where I want to be. Like, I can really help you do this, but do I really want to help you?
Right.
Like, for example, I had an offer that was $120,000, and I worked with entrepreneurs to help them in their operations, kind of sitting in as a COO in their business, helping them to find, basically working with entrepreneurs who had a 7-figure level of success, but it was kind of like, not luck because they did the work, but they had no systems in place, no structure, no nothing. And so their fear was, how do I duplicate this? And then that's where I came in with the systems and the operations and the helping you hire and team. And I was so excited when I got the first person to pay me that number. But really, after working with a couple of people, I'm like, I don't want to do this at all. It required way too much output from me, way too many deliverables. And people thought I was crazy. Like, you got people who will pay you over $100,000 to do X, Y, and Z, and you don't want to do it. It wasn't worth it to me. I don't want to do that much for one entrepreneur. Yeah. So it was an offer that I don't offer anymore.
It's good.
You got it. Do you think people will be confused about your brand at all?
Yeah, for me. Yeah.
What are we gonna do about it?
Fix it. I've been really debating on, like, yo, do I want to? Because I have an email list. Because I could essentially put out stuff on the front end, get you in our world, and then we can talk to you in the back end about all the things that we got. So we've been figuring, actually, we're working through that now. Like, man, how do we want to present on social media? Like, what do we want to put out?
Yeah.
But when they're in our world, now we can have that different conversation on, yo, we can help you with this, and that, right? But on the front end, it might be like, yo, this is, because at some point, I might really just only put lifestyle photos up, like a lot of entrepreneurs do.
You made 8 figures with people being confused about your brand. Do you know where you could go if you just like focused and dialed in on something? And I'm saying this out loud to you while I'm internally saying it to myself.
Yeah.
You just said that you might go into the lifestyle space. You know what's driving me nuts right now?
What's that?
When I say lifestyle, meaning just social media is more consistent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not so business, but just you living your life.
Yeah.
I have been consistently putting out content all year, right? That's one of the mistakes I made last year. Your girl getting money. I don't put out content. Y'all do that, right? I'm getting money. The podcast. Get
somebody else to do it.
Get somebody else to do it. I built my brand starting from back in 2008, creating content. And it wasn't honestly until one day you said, Donni, you're not a content creator. And I'm like, what? I built my whole identity being a content creator. And so I realized I needed to get back into that space. But right now, the content that people are responding to most?
What's that?
My workouts. Now, I kind of want to stop putting them out there because y'all focused on the wrong stuff. Like, there's always a message. Like, whenever I put my workouts out, there's always some deep message that aligns with the video. But I don't want people to get confused. It's that confusion piece. I don't want you to get confused. I joke about being a fitness influencer, but I'm not for real. Like, I'm not getting money out here in the fitness space, but that's what people are responding to. Shout out to all of the athleisure wear companies that want to start sponsoring your girl and,
We get you a deal with Body MD.
Let's get it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I always look at my page, like analyze the page as a whole. To say, if someone new came to this page, what would they think about it?
For sure.
I do that on a regular basis because I think it's important.
And what you think they'll think?
Podcasting. Sometimes it gets all over the place where it's maybe something philosophical, or that's why I always take flyers down. Yeah. But I think the most important, and if anybody's going to take a takeaway, is I think it's important to create or decide the narrative you want to create in the mind of other people about you. You know what I mean? And it's hard. It's not easy. And you feel like you may inoculate some people by going this particular direction. I've been reading.
But you like that word?
Inoculate. Okay.
I've been reading stuff. But yeah, I think it's important. How many people here feel like there's probably some brand confusion? And we don't want to, or we don't, you might be known in the industry, but you don't even want to be known for the thing that you think people will know you for.
That's good.
Like, I'm not sure what place to put you. You know what I mean? I don't know what you do either like that. And I see you every week. Isn't that interesting? So you're a barber, I know, but do you want people to know you as a barber? Or as a person who sells the oil, or, you know what I mean? I think that deserves some attention. It deserves a conversation.
I think sometimes, too, the problem is that we get bored having the same conversations. Like, I started out at the top of the year coaching, how you should build your coaching business. And I sat down in front of my Trello board one day because I was so good. I was putting all the content in my Trello board, like for weeks out at a time. And I sat down one day and I'm like, I'm completely out of this. Yeah. Like, I don't want to create another piece of content in this space, which may be why it's not up to me. It shouldn't be up to me to really kind of come up with those ideas. But at the same time, my content, when it hits because it is me saying the thing. Like, nobody communicates content messaging the way that I do, right? And so that's really hard to delegate. But I will say for me, part of it is just tired of having the same conversation.
Can I switch gears real quick? I gotta ask you a question. It's something me and Donni was having a conversation about. You think me and Donni are too accessible?
Too accessible?
Yeah. Well, I don't think she's that accessible.
Yeah, I don't think that.
I'm accessible.
Oh yeah,
sure.
you 100%. It's over with for you.
Too accessible though?
I don't know what to. I don't hang out with you but you just pull up this. You want to see? You just come right here. You're gonna be here.
Is something wrong with that though?
No, it depends on how you want to be viewed. I mean, how you.
So here's the thing. I
don't want nobody just to be able to pull up on me ever.
Ever.
Like they just pull up on you like.
I'm on a call every morning. Like I'm just.
So I was telling Shans that I felt like we were too accessible. You way more than me because I hide, but I was feeling overexposed a little bit, and you start to see when people feel like this group of people, when people feel like they can just come and be in the room with you anytime they want. Like, I know I'm going to be able to see him or her. They don't really want to invest in your programs. 1, 2, they never feel like we remove the urgency piece because, I'll see them again next week, and I'll see them again next week, and I'll see them again next week.
Y'all feel like that about us?
Yo, this room should be filled with people, though.
Room.
No, but I'm saying this room should be filled with people, but because you're a part of the morning meetup, you could pull up, I'll get there whenever.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, so one of my mentors, like, Bob Proctor, when he was alive, and Jim Rohn, I would have never walked up to Bob Proctor and be like, "What's up?" You ever met
Jim? You got to see him?
I never got to see Jim.
Man, I want to see Jim.
I mean, I was so sad when Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor, and Miles Monroe passed away. I was like,
you saw Miles?
Opportunity. No, missed opportunity.
They said Miles was that guy too.
He is that guy.
Yeah, I just had
Reverend Ike. Whew.
I just got really nervous when and Jamie Foxx is still in the hospital. Like, I never met Jamie Foxx. He's my favorite entertainer.
And you wanted to book him too.
Yeah, he wanted too much money.
Couldn't afford that. Yeah, but I feel like I would never have gone up to like Dr. Monroe, Miles Monroe, or Jim Rohn and been like, "What's up, bro?" Did it dapping them up? It would have been so much respect and esteem because I understood their value and they weren't accessible. So this was like a lifetime opportunity for me to maximize it. And people just be like, sissing me all damn day. Which, maybe that's just the day and age that we live in now. And I sis people too, but even still for me, people who I have a high level of respect for that I know that I can't access a whole lot, even in our peer circle, I don't sis them. I don't bro them, right? Like when I first met you, like back in 2018 or something like that, it was like, oh my God, Nehemiah Davis, this guy is this. And now he's like, what's up, bro?
And now
now you're a piece of crap.
Let me shoot Neo a text real quick, right? Like it was a little, it's different. So when you become familiar with people, obviously my respect level is still the same. That part didn't change. It's just how I engage with you changes. And I noticed that. I just think I think we're a little accessible.
What you think?
No, he's way more. Like you are not. He's out. He's over with.
More, but is it bad? Like I do an event, maybe.
But it's not bad for it. But I think that's his personality. That's him.
But does it hurt me in sales?
Does it? I don't know.
I don't know. I think we're cool. We're doing all right.
Could it be more?
We're doing well. It could always be more.
Yeah,
but
could it be more? Like, okay.
I don't know if it'll hurt you in sales per se, but you know how when you throw a flyer up, I got an event, is not as of an urgency of showing up because he gonna do one next month anyway, and it'd be like $50. You know what I mean? Or $100 sometimes.
Like if Diddy threw up, I'm gonna be at the clubhouse, and the tickets is $50. we wouldn't have enough room to accommodate the people. But if Diddy came,
The tickets was $500. I don't think.
Even if the tickets were $5,000,
yeah.
we wouldn't have enough room. If he was going to come and give business game to group of entrepreneurs, but if we had Diddy here every single week, it would become harder and harder and harder after a period of time to sell those tickets.
And that's similar to what I told you, Shans, about the webinar, why I told you, yo, you got to go in from the beginning earlier because it's still a warm group of people seeing you that are, but then it gets colder and colder in themselves.
It gets watered down. Like you may still fill the room, right? So, for example, Shans and I did a podcast tour by ourselves a couple of years ago, and the tickets were just selling out, right? And we didn't have an issue, VIP, general admission. And now we're on tour with Melanin Money, and though the room ultimately ended up selling, we had to do some work to sell
it's changing
those
though.
tickets.
It's changing though.
Yeah.
Like people are holding on to their money. I'm telling you, they're
Real quick, how much you think Diddy would charge to come to the clubhouse?
I don't know if you could pay him.
What?
I mean,
Why wouldn't we be able to pay him?
meaning the relationships, bro. We tried to book Diddy. They said it's very hard to book Diddy, bro.
Oh, they got him at InvestFest. Shouts out to InvestFest.
That was a relationship.
True. Who's
It's a
somebody?
relationship.
Who's somebody that you gotta think of?
We trying to give Diddy a quarter for the circle. It ain't even, they said it's
He
very
didn't
hard
blink
to
at
book.
that.
$250,000, excuse me. Just
Who
so
do you
that-
think? Who do you think that would have just as much business impact as Diddy? That would be.
It's a lot of people.
Name some.
You saying Steve Harvey? What do you mean? To
Are
come
you talking
here?
about
You
a
saying?
rapper, a producer, or just
I mean,
any
I
person?
mean, to bring them here, I don't know if it makes sense due to the size. You can't max you.
Nah, but what I'm saying is, if there's somebody that we can bring for $5,000, somebody would say like Diddy would be 5,000. You have 100 people, that's 500,000. Give my man 200,000 to come do a workshop. I'm up $300,000.
That's nice,
do
but
y'all
you
think?
got to be able to sell them tickets still, though.
No, but y'all said
people-
We're
easily.
up because this was my idea. But anyway, go ahead.
It's a good idea though.
Yeah, it's a
We invest 100,000 in somebody and some talent. See if some people would pay
I could put a list
$2,000 for a
together.
workshop. 3,000.
Damon John.
I could put a list.
Damon gonna take a 50 piece, 100 maybe. You feel me? And if you can fill the room with 100 people that are willing to invest 3,000,
And technically, we could put 30 chairs in here, and we can figure that out. So we got a couple of extra seats.
live stream for
Little stream.
200.
We got rooms that we can stream in, kind of like the overflow rooms, plus the live stream for the guests at home. We could actually run up a 7-figure event.
Yeah, but you also could just go to a bigger space and do it too.
We could,
But I
this
think
one's already
if there's
paid
only,
for.
but I
Right.
think if it's
But it's relative with.
But
If
the
it's intimate,
intimate
100
space,
people?
like we don't want 500 people in the room. Like you get this up close personal time. Like that's gold.
Let us know in the comments who y'all want to see.
Who do y'all want to see?
In the
for
comments,
sure.
let us know who do y'all
I'm
want
willing
to
to
see.
throw a little 50 at somebody.
I'm willing to go
100
50
at
too.
somebody.
Yeah.
Who
I'm
though?
willing to throw 50.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't got masters
I don't know if
selling
pe-
out
I don't know if
a
people
certain
going-
price point.
It got
It
to be
needs to be somebody
something.
who's. I don't want to say he's not relevant today because Master P will forever be relevant.
Facts.
He made history, but it has
You
to
gotta
be.
get somebody that's not outside too.
They can't be outside.
Oprah.
Okay,
It costs
first
you
of
more
all,
than
Oprah
that. We
went
talking
all-
about big
yeah.
money. No, but here's it. All of this also reverts back to a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You can get Dan Cathy to come in here for free right now if you continue to build. I don't know if you continue to build with him from that, but 100%. Hey Dan, we want to do a business. I believe he will come.
But I don't know
Billionaire.
that people are paying $5,000 for his tickets.
No,
Yeah.
certain people are paying that price for him.
I mean, not in
Business
Atlanta.
owners, more established business owners, owners of the Chick-fil-A's of the world, owners of
Maybe like the
franchises,
rest- Ooh, so
100%.
Okay,
Yo.
here's the play. Very niche. Okay, we focus niche.
Industry specific.
This week, restaurants. You get a Dan Cathy in this
You
joint.
get Dan Cathy.
To teach you how to take your restaurant to the next level. Next week is like, I don't know, gym
Fashion.
owners.
Gym owners.
Get Hormozy.
Hormozy.
Get
You feel me?
Hormozy. Then we get fashion. We get Fashion Nova and they people.
Fashion Nova. Fashion Nova going to take a 50. I don't even know who the
I don't
who
know
the
if he.
CEO.
I don't know his name. Rich. I don't think he taking the 50.
To get around some black people.
The thing
He
is,
loves
bro.
black people.
All they got to do is go to an influencer and send a free box of clothes.
Bro. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
All right. Here we
All
go.
right.
Here we go.
Here we
But
go.
my question, what's the difference between this and your conference you thought?
Well, the
it's very
conference is
different.
podcast specific.
Because you're saying the intimacy part.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
The intimacy part and the podcast conference is for podcasting. We're talking about business development, getting in the room with people that none of us have had access to. Like the only reason we would have access to is because we pay them, and the only reason they would have access is because they pay us, right, to be in that room. So that's it's very different. I like the niche down.
That's it.
A monthly workshop, and this is a monthly workshop because
Yeah.
the interest would be on a different avenue, but
It's like Social Proof 7, but niche down.
very much, but a little larger. The other thing that I think has changed too, getting back to that conversation, I think that we have also, when we're talking about overexposure, I think we're on every stage, every call, every webinar. And so we're overexposed in that way. I've seen a lot of people, like even when I started Full Transparency, when I started Full Transparency podcast and I said, who do you guys want to see me talk to? A lot of the comments were like, not the same people that we always hear from all the time. So that's kind of like why I enjoy getting off the radar a little bit. Like, I got people in my email weekly trying to get me in events, but I'm being really, really choosy. I don't know if that's the right decision or the wrong.
Bag?
You know, the bags ain't bagging right now for speaking engagements.
Why
like
not?
they're dropping bags.
I actually just tried to get you on one. 'Cause
They're
they try to book me, and tell me if I'm lying, okay? They try to book me for a certain amount, and I said I can bring Donni with me, and I added some bread on top of it. So you're welcome.
Is it booked?
I mean, is it booked? Okay, not
yet. All right, well, thank you in advance for the attempt.
I'll be looking out for my sister, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that for
She
sure.
don't really be inviting me to stuff though.
Well, I mean, because I get invited to speak on a lot of women's panels and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's not, you can't speak at a women's panel.
Why can't I?
Because it's for women.
Somebody just did a whole women's event and they had men there
But
because
the
women want to
events
hear the
that
men's
I
perspective.
get invited to are for women by women.
Donnie,
So
you're not going to sit here and tell me that every event you've been invited to was women only.
no, but also majority
Just
of
say
the
I'm gonna start inviting more.
No, because I do pitch us all the time, but the majority of the things that I get booked for are also on Saturdays. You don't do anything on Saturdays. So
Any excuse, huh?
yeah, any excuse, whatever. But I say that to say, like, how do we deal with that? Like, people are like, I'm tired of Neo headlining events. I'm tired of a David or a Donnie. Like, I don't want to see
We
them.
got to tap into new audiences too, though.
Yo, let's do. He would. Okay, you want to bring Neo in on this business?
Which one?
The one we just talked about.
Yeah, for sure. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
cool. So here I had to talk to my partner. So I think this would be cool. We do a industry specific event and we start bringing big people in the industry. And it's like $2,000 tickets, $2,500 tickets.
$24.97 specifically.
We only need 100 people to make $250,000, and maybe we spend 60 in talent. If it's somebody really, really big, we expand more people, but it's specifically for the industry. You'll get people that start requesting, yo, do this with this person, go get this person for this particular industry.
They should tell us in the comments.
Tell us in the comments.
I think, though, before we confirm Neo for this partnership, we have to ask him what his capacity is to do this, because
You do a lot, Neo.
I do.
yeah.
Very ambitious. It's
You do a lot
inspiring.
too, bro.
Not as much as you.
Yeah, but you're a lot.
Yeah. He's good. He's a marketer, put it together, like the strategy on getting people in the room, knowing
So
better.
are you sure that this is a responsibility that you want
That's
to take
if we're going to really do it. Y'all know
No,
we
we're
got
gonna
so
really
much going on.
Listen,
We say stuff and we don't
I am
do
no
it.
longer in the conversation. I'm no longer speaking those words over us, over
Okay.
us, over myself. Like, we did have a problem executing. We did have a problem coming to the table, talking about a bunch of ideas and doing none of them.
Yeah.
But that's not who we are anymore. And if we continue to focus on the fact that that's who we were, then that's who we'll continue to be. We are people
And
who
it's not that
execute.
we're not doing stuff. It's just
We're not prioritizing the stuff that we talk about. Like, we're doing other stuff, but we are no longer in that space. we have to own now, paint the picture of who we want to be. I am focused on execution and making it happen. So we are a group now that when we come up with ideas, we begin to execute. What's our first step after this?
I have somebody I think we can get for 30.
Don't say their name here because then they see this and they like, nah, bruh, you ain't playing me.
It's a particular industry, and that one person will draw other people who are, yeah, we got it, man.
We got it?
Yeah.
We got it. And we're going to do it here.
Yeah. Yep.
The venue.
What if we just bring them in on it so we don't got to give them cash, give them a percentage ourselves?
I'd rather just
That's
pay
a
them.
lot of percentages.
I'm not afraid of putting the money up.
Yeah.
Let's go. What are we doing?
Yeah, I'd rather pay people outright too.
Okay. That's cool.
For sure.
Who would y'all pay
Sometimes it just-
$3,000 to see? Not just that person, but even like a supporting cast around them of other successful people.
She
Who would
said
you pay?
nobody.
You wouldn't pay $3,000 for anyone? Jonathan or Mosey? Okay.
I don't know that that's the
Mosey,
message.
that guy.
That's
Who
not
would
the,
you- who
that's
would
not
you
the
pay?
message. Would
If
you
you
pay
saw
for-
somebody, you're not the right person. Olivia, who would you love to meet from? Do you have something specific? You know what this is for, though? It's for people who have something very, very specific.
Well,
that you
and
wanna
so
learn.
that's why I mean, like, it's not about who would you pay $3,000 to see. It's what would you pay $3,000 to learn.
Yeah, and
right?
connect with.
And connect with. It's not about the person. Like I said, I've had events where my tickets were $2,500. People technically will pay $2,500 to see me, but they didn't care about seeing me. They cared about the result.
Experience.
The result.
The payoff.
The payoff. What's the payoff? So we have to put together events that have a magnificent payoff. So are we talking about, secrets, my secrets to starting in this restaurant business? Like if we brought Pinky out and she's like, look, I'm gonna give you my 10-step framework for how I made Bar Vegan and Slutty Vegan top restaurant chains in the country right now.
That's worth it.
I'm paying $3,000 for
All
that.
day long.
I'm not paying $3,000. I can pull up to a Slutty Vegan and maybe see a Pinky, right? I'm not paying $3 for her. I'm paying $3 for what's in her head.
And she's smart too.
She's smart, right?
Brilliant.
So it's like, what's the payoff? Like, we need to pick the industry just like we do Social Proof 7. And it's more than a conversation. It's an experience that's attached to a result.
Or, I mean, somebody just in our Patreon said, I'm not the right income level to pay $2,000-$3,000 to see anyone, which is understandable.
Someone said Gary V. Somebody said Cedric Nash. Who's Cedric Nash?
If there was, I have no idea who that was.
19 keys.
If David Letterman and Arsenio Hall came together and they were specifically going to teach media or like Ellen, a lot of these people on the wall, I would do it.
Yeah.
Or if I was a comedian and you had Dave Chappelle and he was going to be teaching how to not only craft your jokes, but how to grow a brand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm paying
Dave
that.
Chappelle, Kevin Hart, I'm paying them because they're experts and genius. So we have to look for
You also got to decide who your avatar, who you talking to.
100%. You got to be somebody that's got that bread, though.
Yeah.
Because the $2-3 grand almost got to be disposable.
But we want it to be an intimate room. So we're looking at 100 people. We have 100 people who will pay $3,000 for a result. We just have to identify the right result.
Okay. Anybody got any ideas from this session?
Yes. You do?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Do we have a mic?
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
And can we turn the air on? Y'all hot? Slow warm? Everybody sweating out their weave? No? Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I know a few people offhand. One of them would be Billy Carson because he talks about a lot of consciousness stuff, but he also talks about financial literacy as well.
Are y'all together? Yeah. Okay, because you guys are the only person in the room who are like, yeah, for sure. I don't know. Y'all are watching the same YouTube videos. No, I wanted to know. Y'all know who Billy Carson is? I don't know who Billy Carson
Billy
is.
Carson.
19 Keys just
You
did
do?
an interview. I didn't know before Keys did the
Who
interview.
are the other two people?
The other person, if I said his name, you wouldn't know, but
Okay.
he.
She would know.
Yeah, she knows.
Who is it?
Who is it?
Industry is the industry.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
industry. So getting into the Web3 and the crypto, because that's financial education and literacy right there. I know somebody perfect for your podcast.
Who's that?
That got his name is Gavin. He owns Art Crypto.
Yeah.
So he owns a whole platform that teaches and educates on crypto and everything Web3 related.
But it's not the crypto that you think. It's not like, oh, I'm a trade. It's providing liquidity and staking in order for you to get residual income. He has a whole strategy and a whole system set up.
Okay, who's the third person?
So if we
'Cause-
was talking about like from a book standpoint, it would be like the Rich Dad's Guide to Investing, being that inside invited.
who's the third person?
Who's the third person?
The third person is in the same group.
I would
Just
say
name them.
19 keys, yeah.
19
Keys.
keys? Okay. We know
I rocks with
19
that.
keys.
I rocks with that. Anybody else? Anybody pay $2,000 to see Neo?
Yeah.
I pay, you say that because he's here, but I paid a lot more than that
Yeah, you did.
to learn. That's where it's at. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Okay.
What month are we looking at doing the very first one?
The
It's
only
going 100% be at this podcast event.
100%. Yeah. So August.
Like August?
Well,
yeah, well, I
that's-
mean, we
that's
gotta
Invest
secure
Fest.
talent.
That's Invest Fest. August, September.
September?
Yeah,
Okay.
September. I'm
Yeah.
with that. Okay. You got any strategies for us before we get out of here?
Regarding to what I'm just thinking through what we were just talking about. Is that big enough what we're doing though?
No.
Shouldn't we
Why
going
wouldn't it?
bigger? I don't think that's big enough what we talking about.
I love
Eight-figure
intimate
entrepreneurs
rooms.
hate making six figures.
8-figure entrepreneurs just
No. I'm just
fathom.
saying. Are we
$100,000
going?
day.
Are we going?
$100,000 day is
No, I'm just saying. Are we going big enough? Like, are we going?
okay. So what would be bigger?
Remember when I was hearing Tyler Perry talk? He was like, "We need to like this next studio is probably going to be 5x the size of this. We need to go and grow into. We done that type of event before. It's not nothing new. What we're talking about, book somebody then pay them. It's not crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just.
But
wondering.
I think the
Not like
genius
this.
is it's a niche. It's industry specific.
Got it.
So Circle of
That
CEOs,
makes
what was it
sense.
about?
It was general.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I get
And
it.
and the speakers were very motivational and mindset and very general in my journey. We're looking for somebody who is going to walk you specifically through a problem.
Restauranting,
Yeah.
podcasting.
Yeah. We haven't done that.
Yeah.
Get you on and challenge you to really come in and teach
Yeah.
something. Yeah. And take questions,
Build
field
your
questions
e-com
from the
business.
According to GRA, there are approximately 12,000 restaurants in Metro Atlanta. So I know Pinky. Shouts out to my little vegan hat. I'm vegan.
we know Pinky, we know
I'm concerned that the restaurants
This is just an example.
won't spend. Yeah, I'm
This is
just.
but think about this.
Yeah.
It's 12,000 restaurants. We know Slutty Vegan, right?
MCK, Toast,
Toast,
Breakfast at Barney's.
Breakfast at Barney's, right? Met the dude a couple Mondays ago at Evan's event who runs, I think it's called Breakfast Boys or something like
Breakfast
that.
Boys, yep.
And they are jumping on the south side. Me talking to him for a second, I was like, oh, crap, you really
We're
got a
supposed to
strategy.
do Social Proof 7 around the restaurant
Yeah.
industry. And we need to do that. We have enough people.
100%. So what I'm saying is, like,
restaurant
out of the
is
12,000 people who have a restaurant, how many you think are succeeding? 2, how many people do you think have always wanted to start a restaurant? How many people do catering and they don't have a restaurant? How many people are just good cooks that have an idea that would come see these people? The good news is we don't need 1,000 tickets sold. We don't need 1,000
Right.
people.
And then the other thing is the restaurateurs.
So is this
that you-
Social Proof 7 or is this?
Well, it could be
because now
both.
we talking about two different things.
So I was
It-
doing
it
this
could be
thing a
both.
while ago
I'm
called
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off too.
called 7 Figures in Fashion. And this is when I was like heavily into the t-shirt space, and I had people from print shops coming, people traveled from all over the world, really. I mean, we sold like maybe 60 tickets. It was a full room, but there were people that came from, I think one girl came from some island or something like that. But we had that. Who else? We might have Support Black Colleges. People that was popping in the apparel space, they were there teaching, right? Because you got that small group, the small industry with the most popping people in the city. And it was dope. Actually, I pitched that to Justin Phillips. I was like, yo, let's do another 7 Figures in Fashion. And he's like, maybe. Then I was like, all right, I'm just going to do it myself. So, but this is the same. But I'm thinking this idea that we're talking about is something bigger, but a blend of kind of like the 7 Figures in Fashion joint. Yep. So.
There's that.
Okay. Any takeaways? Any questions, y'all, before we wrap up? Questions? Takeaways? Y'all don't have no?
I think really in the season, like someone said, yo, I'm not at that income level. You can't even say that. You got to really change your thought process. And I still think we got to think even bigger. No matter what's happening in the industry, we got to be doing a mindset work right now. Like right now, I believe, because everybody at different levels, they're feeling certain things. Like, so you got to stay in the game mentally. You got to stay really pushing. It's not no strategy, go make money. But if you can control your mind, you can control a whole lot of things. So just everything that you're saying, you're going to manifest that at some point. So if you say, I can't afford it, I'm broke, guess what's going to continue to happen? But if you say, yo, this is working for me, right? I'm making X amount of money. Like, your subconscious mind and the network you're around is going to find a way to make this thing work. So we want to say we want to make $100 million in the next 365. We're going to find the right people. We're going to get around the right energy. And that's why I'm thinking, when I talk about bigger, like, how do we go bigger?
Yeah, that's this conversation is really on time. I woke up this morning when I was in the shower this morning, and
what's the significance of that?
How we started the episode, just in case Reese actually throws that in there. I was in the shower this morning, and I was thinking, like, I'm constantly thinking about my next level or what the next move is. Yeah. And I literally said to myself this morning, like, Donni, you still thinking way too small. Yeah. You are still thinking way too small. Like, I'm still having 7-figure conversations with myself. Been there, done that. It's time for me to really be focused on 8-figure conversations. Like, I'm still creating 7-figure goals. It's time for me to start focusing on 8-figure goals and sliding into those things. But I literally said that to myself, thinking too small.
Yeah. I'm telling everything I got right now, everything is what I used to think about.
Yeah.
But what if I made the thoughts a lot bigger? I probably would be aiming. I'm motivated now, but I ain't that much more motivated. I got what my family's cool. I got a cool house, car. Like, I'm cool, family set up. But if I was thinking about becoming a billionaire, more thinking about building a $1 billion company, I'll probably be playing I will be going to different events. Like, I'm going to the Kentucky Derby. I'm going to F1. I'm going where other people aren't going, because I want to get around. What y'all talking about in these rooms?
Yeah. You will love the Kentucky Derby. Yeah, you got to go in there fly.
Yeah, that's
I went
the problem.
one time.
I got to figure that out.
Many years ago. One time. But I feel like my whole business model is thinking too small. Like, I've been in this space for years. It's time for me to level up and go to another level.
Isn't there some value, though, in thinking small until you can think bigger?
For sure. But I think, like, where I am, and somebody I think when the thought is, like, keeping you up at night, I'm back in that place. Like, when I wanted to hit 6 figures, how I was going to do that was keeping me up at night. When it was time for me to hit 7 figures, how I was going to do that was keeping me up at night. And then once I hit it, it's like, oh, you're resting, you're sleeping, you're getting your rest. When I hit that 6 figures, I'm sleeping. I'm back to the point now where my phone is on Do Not Disturb all the time, because when I fall asleep, I need to fall asleep, because the thought of my next level is keeping me up at night. Like, I'm literally driving. I'm I'm watching church, or I'm at church, and I'm thinking the thought just keeps penetrating my mind and what I'm doing. And so I know that means that this is my season to move and do something and jump and take a bigger leap. But what I'm supposed to be doing next, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do what I'm doing, right? That doesn't mean that the companies that I have won't continue to grow, but there's something that I am supposed to be doing at a larger scale. I'm supposed to be impacting more people. I'm supposed to be a bigger example. I'm supposed to be a bigger voice of hope. Whatever that looks like is keeping me up at night right now. It's distracting me throughout my day. It's distracted me in this conversation. Like, I'm having conversations and I'm checking out. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, everything feels like like it's in alignment with the thoughts that I'm having, this conversation and conversations with other people. And this is when I start getting excited because I know something is about to break through.
Yeah.
That's good.
We had a conversation yesterday. So you want to talk about it? A conversation about your event?
Sure. So I used to have small workshops back in the day, Actionable Woman small workshops. And Actionable Woman is an offer that I no longer offer. I have Actionable CEO now, which is a membership group, blah, blah, blah. And in my business plan of how I am going to generate revenue this year, there are 3 small workshops. And this is exactly what I mean, actually. But there's 3 small workshops that I'm to do this year. Now,
Why
granted,
you say small? Because they're small?
well, so I really thrive.
I have an idea.
Yeah, I thrive in small groups because of how I teach.
Okay,
These are teachings. These aren't just motivation, right?
We working
This
right
is
now.
us working.
Got it,
So I want to
understand.
do actual workshops. I'm coming to check your work, all of that
Gotcha.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I thrive in that space, and I am I have that. So David sends me a message one day last week, and he's like, I think it's time for you to do your own events. And I didn't respond to it because, again, connecting it to the thoughts that are penetrating my mind. And I'm like, well, I'm supposed to be doing these events. Maybe this is some alignment and some significance here. Maybe this is what I should be doing. And so I don't respond to it. And David calls me yesterday. He's like, hey, did you get the message? Or it might have been the day before. He's like, hey, did you get the message? And I was like, yeah, I got it. I actually have these small workshops on the agenda. He's like, but go bigger. I'm like, I just want to kind of stay small. You did. You said why?
Do an event. No, I didn't say go bigger. I said, I don't care how big it is, but it's time for you to start doing your own event.
You said, I don't care how big it is. And then last night we talked again, and he's like, so what's up with the event? And my answer is still the same. Like, well, there's 3 events that are in my agenda for the year to do. I haven't done them, right? I haven't done them. I haven't put them together. I don't have a date selected. So that was a thought that kind of kept me up. We had this conversation shortly before I went to sleep, and that was something that I went to sleep with on my mind. Maybe this is God speaking through David saying, just put the date on the calendar and do it. And I think you actually said that.
Mm-hmm. I think, my own opinion, I think Donni is afraid.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
No,
I don't
I'm
think
not.
she afraid.
I'm not
I
afraid
think
at
she
all.
is.
Like I've done events. I just, since the pandemic, I got lazy. Not necessarily, I didn't have to. Like, I didn't do events. I didn't have to do that work. I didn't have to show up in person, and I made a whole lot more money. So it was a component that was removed from my business model. Now that I'm really back in my business from an operations standpoint, really back in my business from a sales point, it's a matter of time. I am not interested anymore in being burnt out and just completely overwhelmed all the time. I have no interest in that.
It's no fun either.
It's no fun in doing it. Like, I did it, and
Anxiety.
it just doesn't feel good. I don't like, David is a workhorse. I like it. I'm a work pony. Your girl needs her private life. That's just where I am. And I am willing to miss out on certain things if it means like quality of life for me. So every decision that I make, like, I got to be really, really excited about it. And I told you the thing for me is I just don't want another fluff thing. I'm not connected to fluff. I'm not known for fluff. So I need to be really excited. I don't want to do another event where people just leave feeling good. I want to do an event where we've got concepts that have been actually worked out and things happening. So just thinking through what that looks like for me now, and it probably goes back to like brand confusion and, you know, where we are in that space. I'm not afraid at all. There's very few things in business that I'm afraid of. Putting an event together with 50 people ain't one of them.
I think. I mean, just based on some of our conversation, that was just my own perspective. Is I don't know. I think I think we all, if we're being honest, before we do anything that's outside of what we do on a regular basis, there is a little bit of fear there. Should I do this, and what is the effect of it? If we were saying, okay, Donni, do this event, and I want you to host an event, and I'll give you $100,000 to do it. I'll go sell the tickets. You would do the event. Or I got a sure 1,000 people that are already in my community. You do this event, I'm going to send them there. Everybody that comes, you'll do it. So I think there could be some anxiety around, okay, do I have the strategy to get people out? Do I have, we talked about it. We started selling tickets for Houston. That joint was light. Now, eventually it turned out it was a good event. I think we maybe had 80 people there. We were shooting for 100. Not a bad event, right? But I think there is some apprehension because from my own perspective, and Donni will tell you about all the things she used to do. That was a shot. I was throwing shade. But there's some apprehension because she is an amazing number two, so to speak. So she'll take somebody from 10 million to 100 million because she's behind the scenes, pulling the strings, making it happen. Obviously, this podcast, I started, she come in, amplify. She's going to amplify. But I have not seen many of the spark or the start. So I don't know. That's just my perspective. Even when we're talking about, he's like, we got 3 events throughout the year. And I'm like, I got the same 3 and I'm about to do some more events throughout here because.
Yeah, but you have to also understand, first of all, you weren't there for my beginning, right? Like the podcast was not my beginning.
For sure.
Right? So you weren't privy to my beginning. I started a whole business.
I understand.
No. Listen, you can't impose your vision for your life onto me.
For sure.
You can't make your vision for how you can't make your vision for how you want to carry out your business model mine. Right? So for me, I am very like, your brain works like, oh, event, we're going to do this. Okay, done. I am very like, okay, event at this price, let me really make sure we're pouring out the value. Let me think through. My brain is so focused on the details.
Have you ever been somewhere you didn't get value?
No, but my brain doesn't work that way. My brain is so focused on the details and the value and mapping it out. Even when I did an event a few months back with 7 other women, it took months. Like I had to see it.
For sure.
If I don't see it, I'm not doing it because I don't want to be attached to just fluff.
You like structure.
I love structure.
Structure.
Yeah, there's no.
That's like an operator.
I am an operator.
Yeah. He's a visionary. You're more of the operator.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also a visionary.
It's just you play both roles.
I play both roles, but I have to see it and I execute when I see it. David is going to and I can also operate in a space where we're putting things together, but it has to feel good for me. I'm the last person that could be peer pressured, I think. And so you do a lot of peer pressuring. I ain't been able to be peer pressured my whole life. So when I'm feeling pressure, like if it's not flow for me, it don't go for me.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I didn't pressure. That's why I was like, I think it's a good idea. And then she starts to talk about, I used to do events. I do events. That's what I'm doing.
The reason that I said that is because David said, I've never seen you do an event. Well, that's not true.
So, that is true.
Well, yes. It's true that you've never seen it, but I used to do events all the time.
I'm giving you my perspective, and I've been with you for the last...
Since 2014.
14. Mm-hmm. And every event that we did, I said, Donni, this is the event we're going to do.
That's not true.
I'm going to put...
That's not true. I created Entrepreneurs Exchange.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. First of all, Neo is here.
Okay.
But let me also be clear that when my income took off and when I was involved in a particular industry, the success of that industry was 100% based on me doing events.
Yes.
100%.
Right. But you have the industry or the company, and then Donni can put her sauce on something. That's what I
want to do.
That's what I'm saying. But even in certain conversations, you're like, I always wanted to be the Oprah of this. I want to you start talking about, I'm going to do events.
Oprah wasn't out here doing events.
My point is.
Oprah sat in front of a camera.
She built the whole empire.
Now, yes, but Oprah started.
Okay, but I'm not using Oprah for events. I'm just saying all the stuff that you said.
Can you this conversation?
Hold on, no. We're not going anywhere. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm saying that, so Donni tells me, I want to be she's like, I'm leaning more into the content creation space. We had that conversation, right? This is before she started the podcast.
I think she's 50-50, bro.
Huh?
50-50. She's going to be I believe she's built to help other people grow their stuff.
Yes.
And she gonna do her stuff when she feel like it.
100%. But you can't tell me you're going to do something and you being my sister and I don't push you to do the thing you said you were going to do.
Push
so
and
even hold
pressure
on, real
are
quick.
Push and
Trying to
pressure
this-
are different.
So here's the thing. She said, yo, no, I'm leaning more into the podcast. This is before she started the podcast. So I'm leaning more into the podcast space. So I'm like, oh, is that what you want to do? Oh, well, I'm on you. If I say I'm going to do something, my own fear will talk me out of it unless I have somebody else saying, yo, you could do this. Let's knock it out. We all need it. Nobody's immune to fear, period. So I think there is something you're afraid of. I don't know what it is, but anytime I'm going to do something outside of my normal, there's fear attached, especially if if I do an event, I'm always thinking, wow, will people come? Or am I going to do the work? Do I feel that I'm going to do the work to do what's necessary to get these people out there? And there's fear attached to it. So I always need somebody saying, yo, Dave, you could do it. Oh, set the date. Let's go. And that's what I do.
Well, that's different. Accountability and pressure, like, for whatever reason, Dave likes to take ownership of making me.
No, I don't. That's in your own head.
Does.
That's in your head.
You say it all the time. You say it.
But
Dave likes to take ownership of
You say
who Donni
making
is.
you like I put you on type of thing.
Yeah.
Have I ever been that person? Did I ever say
Oh, he has said that on this podcast.
I've never heard.
No,
you
I didn't.
David
say
has
that.
said that jokingly,
What'd I
and there's
say?
always some truth in every
We
joke.
might gotta take this.
Yeah,
We might gotta
right.
take. I think we gotta take this to full transparency.
We should take this to full transparency.
And really, y'all really talk all of this out.
Let's take this to full. No, but here's the thing. I appreciate all of the accountability that I get from my circle. It's just like it can't be made like I'm doing other things. I'm doing a lot of other things. Sure. So this isn't Donnie's not doing anything. Let me see my sister. Like, and it feels more like an intervention than it feels like accountability. I'm like, Negro, do you know all the stuff that I do every single day? Do you know all this stuff that I do every single day?
You got greater in you.
You got greater in you.
Of course I do. And ain't nobody like pushing me. I gotta push myself. And
if I'm being totally honest, the events that we do together might as well be my events because you don't be doing nothing. You don't.
Name one.
This last one that we just did.
What we do?
The muscle mindset and money workshop. You did nothing. Like David has gotten the big head at this point, and he be forgetting that work has to be done.
I agree a little bit.
You want me to do this all by myself? Neo, do you have an experience there?
Sometimes.
No, because last time I called you on that, you was like, "Oh no, you right." Because I do more than you. It's
no,
just,
you do not.
I put more.
It's not a question. You do more than me, dog.
You don't do nothing but put stuff in a text message. Yo, you need to do this. You need to do that. Which is valuable. But you can't say that I don't do nothing.
You're crazy. I do way more, bro.
And the last entrepreneurs workshop we did, you're doing what? Challenge me. You're doing less and less work these days.
What? Are you serious?
But that money his equity stake stays the same.
Are y'all serious?
You are doing less and less active. It's now like Shan's is now like I'll put my name on the flyer. That's the work.
I'll interview him. That's the work.
This is so interesting. Yeah. This is crazy that you would even fix your mouth to say that.
That's definitely the work.
That's crazy.
Are you kidding me?
You're saying that to win.
I am not.
You're saying it to win this conversation.
This is who you are right now.
So look, the fitness muscle thing, your idea, you promoted it heavily, right?
Our tour.
So 100%.
Did you go live?
Yeah, I went live mad times.
With George?
Did you
follow the marketing schedule?
So are you saying you did a lot on that tour?
She's talking about you right now.
I'm just talking about you.
No. None of us went hard on that.
So what do somebody got to do what you had to do? You said none of us.
Yo, I do a lot of events, and I push all my events.
You're so spread all. You say yes to so many things that. You know what Shans does in new relationships? He's all in. He's doing the challenge. He's doing the webinars. He's doing the interview. He's posting. He's going live. But with me, it's like, oh, Donni will do it.
Give me an example.
Oh, Donni will do it. The last event.
Okay,
we
you
don't
got
need-
that one
and
because
Entrepreneurs Exchange.
that
You
was your
didn't do
idea.
anything.
Are you serious?
You didn't though.
Donni, you're talking crazy right now.
Chance.
You're talking crazy.
You know what I think
put
y'all
your
gotta
name on
really
the
do?
flyer
Y'all go on
and-
full transparency and y'all just get all of this out. That way, because there's some things that you gotta fix.
Yeah.
There's some things she gotta
100%.
fix. There's things
Here's
that
the
we gotta
difference.
fix.
I know where I fall short.
So did you
and
fall
I'll
short
admit
on
it.
the things that she just
The
said?
last one, yes, I didn't promote that like
Entrepreneur
that.
Exchange?
No, she's making that up. Because that was my idea. I remember making the flyer.
I'm talking about this last one that we just did a few months ago. I'm talking about the last event. You don't even remember the event.
The last event we did
We did
together.
it in like February, I think.
What was the name of it?
Entrepreneurs Exchange. We brought it back.
What did we do?
Let's just leave this one alone.
We were up here in the front,
Mm-hmm.
and we had the entrepreneurs come out, Q&A. We had catered food. You don't even remember the
You mean to
event.
tell me that you did all the work for that? And you did all the promotion for that?
Yeah, I did do all the promotion.
Oh
for that.
my
You
gosh.
You accepted the collaboration.
Were you do you know what she's talking about?
Kay did the ordering. Okay.
This is my team. I pay everybody to do this
but
stuff. What are you talking about?
You didn't do it. You didn't do it. David, all I'm saying is the David who used to, at the beginning of these things, go hard. We're on a schedule. We got this. We doing that. This is that you ain't been doing
everything.
that. Maybe
I
that's
push
the problem.
everything. I'm not taking no losses on no events. I do an event every month pretty much.
Neo, do you understand the conversation?
I get it.
Who's
With
winning?
David,
Is she
you-
winning?
Yes.
And
Only
he's not
because
just saying it.
it's
He's
her
saying
word
it
against
because-
mine, though,
No,
so how's
he's got
it-
personal experience. Neo has
I don't
said,
do nothing?
Neo
I didn't say
has-
you don't do
Okay.
nothing. You
not
do work.
nothing. But
I
Neo
just
has
work
said-
harder than most of the people I work with.
What do you do in our our business?
pew,
What do you
pew,
do?
pew,
What do you
pew.
okay?
Pew,
We're not
pew,
going to
pew,
go
pew,
deep
pew.
in this.
I want y'all to
we're
hear
not
this.
going
I want
all
y'all to
into
hear- I
this.
want y'all to hear
We're
this.
not going all
What
in
do you
on
do?
a
Because
lot,
you'll
bro.
make your list and I'll make mine. What do you do?
A lot, bro.
Tell me.
Strategy, putting
Oh,
everything together.
Okay.
Marketing.
No. Hold on.
Telling
Your
you
boy-
what you
Hold on,
got to do.
Your boy is in his
All I'm doing
feelings.
is I just need an answer. So you do strategy.
Yep, marketing.
So when you say strategy, you're telling
like let
everybody
me
what
ask
to
you
do.
this. You know how the other day we had a
hold on.
conversation.
Let me
Donnie,
finish.
we had a conversation.
Why can't you just answer my question? So you do strategy, right? What's the next thing?
Strategy, assist with funnels.
Okay,
like
hold
all of that
on.
stuff,
Hold
bro.
on. So you assist with funnels. What does that mean?
Come up. So the other day, just yesterday, Neo did something crazy where we getting $1,000 a ticket. We
Yes.
wasn't doing that. That made us
Yes.
$250,000.
Yes, 100%.
What is that worth?
Neo comes up with the strategy. That's the
For us to
strategy.
make more money.
I'm not discounting the importance of the strategy, but you come up with the strategy. Okay.
Yes.
What else?
A lot, bro. I'm not going to
What-
sit here
what
and run
else?
through all of this. My
So for
team
me-
does a bunch of stuff.
So for me,
For you, it's just you.
yes,
maybe one other
So
person.
I got
a
to do the
laundry
I got to
list
do the
of people
reaching
that
out
gotta
to the
do
people.
stuff.
I got to try to negotiate. I got to use all my favors. I had 2 people say, "Yo, all right, Dave, this your favor." I'm like, "All right, cool, no problem." I got to interview the person. I got to go live with the person, man.
you gonna
I gotta
interview
bring them
people anyway. That's
I got to
what
bring
you
them
do.
into the store. I got to bring them into the studio. They got to do. I got to do like
You
a
got to
YouTube
do
live
everything
with
that you
them.
do. Yes.
You know what
Yeah,
David tells
I
me
work.
now?
You got to do everything that you do.
You know what David
Who does
tells
more work
but-
based on what we just said? Who does more?
He automate everything.
It's valuable, but the thing is, I'm not discounting his value. He's discounting my work.
Neo, you're getting a
I
whole
don't
lot
mind a
more
good
output
strategy.
from David. When I say, Dave, let's do this, David will say, oh yeah, dope idea, Donnie, let's do it. But I need you to take lead on this. You got to do the work on this.
This is a conversation for full transparency because you know I got to reply on that. You know I got to reply on that. We'll wait for full transparency.
I'm interviewing you on
But
Friday.
I do. Yes, no one can say I don't do no work. And
It's not no
and I
work.
haven't put so many people.
you just brand new, David. You brand new is all we saying.
I put so many people in position, create networking opportunities.
Yes, you
create
do.
so many. I've created so many opportunities for people.
Go ahead.
with
You
the fact
better, you
that-
better
what that
toot
got to
that
do with
horn.
what we're
fact
talking
that
about?
y'all are saying
you
this is
better toot that
ridiculous.
horn.
Oh my gosh.
You better
Oh,
toot
There must
that
be
horn.
something true
This is
about
great.
this.
He got
There
a little.
probably
His
is.
ego had to appear.
There
he
probably-
Couldn't, he couldn't
yeah,
just win
for
on
sure.
facts.
No,
he
no,
had
no,
to win
no,
on
no,
a
no,
little
no.
ego.
I had to pull out the evidence. Okay. Can't nobody discount my work. Period. Period.
Except for Donni and Neo. This has been another amazing episode of Social Proof Podcast with our favorite cousin, Nehemiah Davis. Neo, close us out with something.
Listen,
today.
all I'm gonna say is this, man. First, find the right partner. That has nothing to do with because so many.
Yo, pew, pew, pew.
No. But so many entrepreneurs get into partnerships because this my homie.
I'm the wrong partner. That's crazy.
No, see, this has nothing to do with him.
David is a good partner. We just have to.
I agree.
You guys are rounding up to the nearest roast at this point.
We are.
It's just rounding up just to embellish a little bit.
Basically, David's amazing, but I'm letting y'all know. All right, let me switch this. All right, so what I will say.
Actually, David's amazing, but find yourself a good
More
partner.
of the stories. This is the year of growth. This is the year of collaboration. I believe what things are getting harder. Like you need to. I feel like so many people now need to come together and find out what are your skill sets. Let's come together and make money because you might could go do one thing, go make 100,000 on your own. You may come together with 2 other people. Y'all make 300. You're still making the same 100, but the impact is greater. Yeah. Find a way to do that across multiple situations in different industries if it makes sense. And I believe that's one way to grow yourself and to grow your business and you won't be burnt out like Donni said.
Yeah.
So again, I think this is the year of growth. This is definitely the year of execution. This is the year of locking in. Like this is the year that you got to lock in while everybody else ain't locking in. Why they worried. Why I feel like Warren Buffett, I don't know his exact quote, but essentially when everybody's being greedy, you don't. When everybody being scared, you be greedy. So while everybody's chilling, you need to really grind.
Facts.
So that's that. And again, this episode, I'm happy to be on here. And for those who are looking to collaborate, work with me, mastermindwithneo.com, or just check me out on social media. We're looking for more partners, looking to help more businesses grow and more opportunities for us to work together and help people get it to another level. So let's get to it.
You want to close this out with something?
Do you want to?
You have more to
us out
say?
with something?
No, we'll start an argument again.
His foot is twitching. Yo, David can't handle being in the hot seat. Yeah. He want to throw me in the hot seat. He wants to throw you in the hot seat. But when we challenge him.
No, I'm cool with being challenged. I'm just going to defend myself.
Listen, you guys. This has been another amazing episode. It really, really has. Make sure that you understand what season you're in. Like Neo is saying right now, put your foot on the gas. And this is absolutely a put your foot on the gas type of season. But you know what else it is? It's also a listening season. So you can be someone who, like me, spent the whole last year being overwhelmed, and you got people in your ear, your business partner, your best friend.
Get your finger out of my face. Get out of here.
You got them in your ear saying, go. I don't care about your overwhelm. Go. I don't care about your anxiety. Go. I don't care about your
mental health.
I don't care about your mental health. You better go.
Let's
Get
go.
people in the room. Listen. You can also be in your listening season where you just have to silence out all of the people who trigger you and listen for the download that you are supposed to receive, because I promise you, when you receive it, you download and you do the work, it's up from there.
I can't wait to close. Are you done? Because I'm going to close out now.
Oh, you got to close? All right, you guys. So we'll see you next week. We are out.
Yes, peace.
If you like the video that you just watched, click this one. You're going to like this one, maybe even more. Click it right now.